On Sunday, January 21st, the second Russian ice jumping championship with team competitions came to an end. Despite the entertaining format of the event, the skaters approached it with seriousness, demonstrating their best skills and despite the difficulties, did not give up even after falls. The captains of the teams were known in advance, Dmitry Kozlovsky for the blue and Alexander Galyamov for the red. Team compositions were determined in front of the audience. The blue team included Margarita Bazilyuk, Sofia Muravyova, Maria Gordieva, Lev Lazarev, Yevgeny Simonenko, Ivan Popov, Ekaterina Chikmaryova, Matvey Yanchenkov, and Dmitry Aliev. The red team included Adelia Petrosyan, Elena Kostyleva, Ekaterina Koltsova, Arseny Fedotov, Vladislav Dekidze, Petr Gumenik, Elizaveta Osakina, Artyom Gritzienko and Elizaveta Tuktamasheva was selected. You can watch the performance of figure skaters as well as a sensational 4x4 cascade by Margarita Bazilyuk on our website figureskating.org at the link in the description. The competition consisted of 5 stages, at each of which, except for the first stage, 3 participants from each team took part. In the first stage the captains and their partners, as well as 2 more sports pairs performed. They had to perform 2 twists, 2 different throws, 2 cascades of 2 jumps or 1 of 3. Only 1 attempt was given for each element. Boykova and Kozlovsky tried a quadruple ejection, but failed to perform it. Despite the low scores, the blue team was in the lead due to mistakes by the red team. In the second stage, the singles players had to perform 2 different triple jumps each. Tuktamasheva fell off her Lutz and made an error on her flip. Tatiana Tarasova, who was commenting on the competition, was surprised by this turn of events and said she couldn't even remember the last time she saw Elizaveta fall. The former world champion herself was also a little discouraged. It worked better on the show. It's really exciting. It's not that it's a comeback, I think it's going to be a lot more successful than these attempts. But it's still cool to be here and feel the competitive adrenaline, noted Empress. After the second stage, the Reds were slightly ahead with a score of 76.31 to 75.42. On the third stage, the contestants had to perform 4 turn jumps. Petrosyan did a flip, but missed a tulip, losing to Lazarev. Alexandra Boykova did not understand why Petrosyan was not given a tick on the jump. The question is, why didn't Adelia get a tick? Boykova said to Kozlovsky, which was heard on air. Dmitry Kozlovsky had this to say about the judging at the Russian jumping championships. The judging, I think, was fair. I showed that it is necessary to watch the replay of the jump Petrosyan. Specifically to the situation with Adelia, her lunges were right in front of our boxes, and it was obvious that there was an undercurl. And it was put there. Would I take a shuttle at a competition to see my opponent's undercurl? I would. Why not? The only question is how long the competition would have lasted then, said Kozlovsky. The duel between Simonenko and Gumenik, who have long been competing with each other for the title of the best figure skater in the country, became decisive in the round. Mishin's pupil won twice in this confrontation at the Russian championships, but this time the victory in a face-to-face dispute remained with Peter. He performed the Salcho and Rittberger to perfection and beat his opponent by 2.48 points. He came out and decided everything like Peter the Great, commented teammate Galyamov. At the same time, the overall advantage of the Reds remained minimal, only 0.27 points. At the fourth stage of the team ice skating competition in Russia, it was time to perform cascades. Participants had to present 2 cascades, or 1 cascade in 1 sequence, with the first jumps in each cascade being different and the total number of elements not exceeding 3. The beginning of the stage was marked by mutual violation of the rules. First Fedotov performed 2 axle combinations instead of 1, which resulted in a loss of points, and then Muravyova made the same mistakes. It turned out that both teams were not aware of the subtleties of the rules and had to make changes to the set of jumps for the next competitors on the fly. After the competition, Galyamov explained that their team was unaware of the rule when Arseny made the jumps. He said that they were told that he was given about 10 points less and they didn't understand the reason. So Galyamov turned to the FFCCR General Director, Alexander Ilyich Kogan, for a hint to avoid repeating the mistake. Elena Kostyleva produced an impressive performance, including a sequences of quadruple salcho, triple tool-up and double axel, as well as a cascade of triple lutz, triple tool-up, double tool-up. However, the highest score in this round was earned by Margarita Baziliuk, the new Russian champion, who presented a cascade of a quadruple tool-up, and 2 triple tool-ups. Thus, the blue team narrowed the points gap with the red team. Before the final stage, the Reds held a lead of almost 4 points. At the final stage, the competitors had to demonstrate cascades or combinations of no more than 5 jumps. However, Popov and Fedotov made mistakes in this round, and after a great performance by Baziliuk, Kostyleva took to the ice. She fell from the 4th salcho, receiving only 7.8 points, which automatically decided the winner. Despite what happened, all the participants supported Kostyleva, and Galyamov emphasized that she still has a lot of opportunities ahead of her in the sport. Elena Kostyleva escaped a serious injury after a fall at the World Jumping Championships. After a fall with the handle, Lena got by with a bruise. "Thanks to everyone who cheered and worried," said the mom of the figure skater on social network. "There was no examination. Applied ice, elbow bruised. If tomorrow there is a relapse, we will go to the traumatologist," quoted Irina Kostyleva TASS. Thus, the blue team with Dmitry Kozlovsky at the helm won the competition and received a prize of 5 million rubles, while the red team took second place, receiving a bonus of 3 million rubles. This victory was a historic one for the FFCCR in team tournaments, and Kozlovsky jokingly noted at the press conference the Golden Rule, whose team is helped by Trenkov, loses. Tatiana Tarasova commented on Elizaveta Tuktamysheva's participation in the World Cup in jumping. Tuktamysheva is skipping the current season, but took part in the jumping tournament. She fell from a triple lutz and performed a triple flip with a landing error. She had a small mistake. Still, Lisa's participation in the tournament is very important for everyone. The hall was ecstatic when they announced her name. I was happy to see her. Is it realistic to recover the triple axel in a couple of weeks? Apparently not, she didn't show it, Tarasova said. The FFKR refused to name the teams at the Russian Jumping Championships. According to Match TV, the red team was originally to be called Flaming Ice and the blue team was to be called Northern Wind. At the last minute, the teams decided not to be named. Alexander Galyamov summarized the results of the team tournament at the Russian Jumping Championships. Words cannot convey how cool it was. All the intrigue was unleashed in the last round when they performed 5 jumps in a cascade. At the previous Russian Jumping Championships it was quite difficult to predict how everyone would jump this cascade of 5 jumps. It's difficult to perform. As a former singles player I can say. Really enjoyable tournament. It was an honor to be the captain of the team. It was a shame that Lena Kostyleva had such a bad fall. I hope she will be fine. I think she will be fine. How many times have the red team won the Channel 1 Cup? It's nice that finally the blue team won. The hegemony of the red team has been broken. We'll see what happens next. This is my second time on the red team. The criteria were that year and this year were almost the same. It's a pity that not everyone followed the regulations, but our team did not know that you cannot perform 2 combinations. Then I went to Alexander Kogan. Everyone did well, everyone tried. It is difficult to single out anyone. It's a shame that the girls could not open up a little. I think they will be better prepared for the next Russian Jumping Championships. They will know the regulations, so they won't make mistakes. I praised everyone, congratulated them, said Galyamov. Alexander Galyamov was surprised that the teams at the Jumping CR did not have names. I personally had ideas for team names, but before the start we were told, there will be teams of Galyamov and Kozlovsky. I was a little surprised, because at another team tournament there were team names, Red Machine, Time of the Firsts. I thought it would be the same here. What were the names? I won't say. Suddenly we will be captains at the next tournament, said the figure skater. Dmitry Kozlovsky spoke about the work of Alexander Galyamov. How do I like Sasha's rap? I'm sure it's definitely not mine. Since I am not very versed in this culture, it is difficult and rather impossible for me to evaluate it. It's one thing to listen to it, but it's another thing to be into it. You know it, you are interested in it, you understand how this music is created and changed. And I'm just a free listener, I don't know the details, Kozlovsky said.